And welcome back. This is actually going to be part 2 to the T for DMs in karmic third-party situations. I wasn't going to do it, and I was thinking to just put the hot topic card and the heart of the matter and stuff into the description, but it felt like enough to put in there. And as I was typing some stuff, I really got called to the song True Colors, and I also felt drawn to, in the cards for the Divine Masculine, um, the way that it laid out, and especially with the T, it feels like what's kind of going on right now is that masculines, like, that this is very much what's going on in the situationship that they're in, but it's also emotionally what's going on. They are recognizing how they have hurt their divine feminines, or they feel like they really have, and they're really worried that it's going to create more, that kind of whichever way they step is going to create more turmoil and more chaos. And they're worried that with, I mean, look at the divine femme empress is looking away from all of that stuff. They may also be feeling like, well, I mean, like, you're above all that stuff and you're not going to want to be involved with them for having been involved in all that. In any case, I think I had mentioned early on in the first video that this is in our shadow card position. So, it not only has this photo bomber person come in, I think mostly this is the karmic trying to hold on to a lot of things, and masculines are aware of that greediness and that struggle to hold on to everything. But I think because it's in the shadow card position too, that they're really working on releasing control. That's a lot of what this is trying too hard to control things. And because we see this with the karmic, they're probably really recognizing how their karmic has been trying so hard to control everything, including them, and that they too have been doing that. And they're really, what we had in the hot topic position, this is one that really called me to it, is the Six of Swords, or sorry, Six of Wands. It's funny, Six of Swords, healing. The recognition of all this is healing for them. They're this is what's on the forefront of their mind, and usually what is directly happening. They're getting on their horse and they're getting ready. They're packing up their stuff and getting ready to kind of go home, which is you. And it may be that is part of the arguments going on. It could be that because this is coming up in their half of the reading along with this in the karmics reading, that they are already, like, maybe they've even been pushed to the point of being like, I'm going back to my feminine. Like, you are not this. You kept me from them. Or maybe just even recognize, without the blame, just saying, you know what, I recognize where I belong, and where I belong isn't here. And I'm sorry that this situation went the way that it did, but, I mean, you clearly have multiple masculines that you've been juggling while causing me to juggle my family and my situation. So, cry about it if you'd like to, but I know where I need to go. I recognize that I'm only going to continue to stay in this position if I stay with you. And in the heart of the matter, in the middle of the deck, is the Four of Cups in reverse. So we've got 2 fours in there also, and that's reflection, that's pause, and it's really considering what the situation is, kind of letting go of fantasy bonds, releasing the kind of that fantasy that we can rescue other people. But this is also, it's an emotional breakthrough. And so in their hearts, they've had an emotional breakthrough, probably because they've been faced with a lot of tower situations, especially as we went through the Lionsgate energy, and it really revealed to them the true colors of themselves and their karmics, and seeing how they have behaved and where it's gotten them. I mean, even for a while, they may have thought that it was just them being defensive to protect what they had, and it's not. It's not. They're really learning to actually appreciate the situations that have happened, even the towers, because they're recognizing that this is spirit coming in and allowing them to choose who they want to be in each moment. And underneath our Four of Pentacles here, we have the Justice card, followed by the Three of Cups in reverse, which is like a disillusionment and a breakup of a union, trouble in friendship, and this is the Karma card. It can also be Karmic card, but in upright, it's, you know, there's justice. Justice is happening. Spirit is coming in and probably breaking up the third party situation that they had, because it wasn't meant to be. And with this T in here, you know, it really suggests that they're really kind of stepping back and just kind of allowing themselves to recognize they don't have much, but they have every right to protect what they have emotionally and financially, and Spirit's backing them up in that, while that wailing energy of the karmic is, you know, creating more problems in there. And we have some Virgo energy coming up, and we just literally transitioned into Virgo season. It's also kind of a Merlin type energy, and I think I kept calling that in a few other of the readings, even without the Hermit card coming out, is that they're really kind of in this Hermit mode. So it might feel to a degree like they're ghosting you, or they're just not as communicative as normal, and just recognize that they're hitting a stage of enlightenment with the disillusionment of the situation that they're in. And even though, here's the funny thing, so they still, to a degree, reflect their karmics, and even though they're sitting in that T energy and really holding their bounds, they are kind of feeling this way inside. You know, they thought that the situation was going to be better than it was, but they realized that it was mostly a bunch of noise, a lot of work, and a lack of clarity, and that it's never going to level up from where it is. It's always going to be stagnant and stuck, and it's going to leave them actually more vulnerable than they were before they got into it. And we got the Ten of Wands in reverse, so what I'm getting a sense from that is they're ready to release the connection and the burdens, but they're feeling really embarrassed about the situation that they got themselves into, especially if they're an older DM, and it's one of those, like, I really should have been old enough to know better than to get into this situation. But Spirit's helping to amp it up enough to where they're like, you know what, I need to drop my ego. I need to, which is this one too, I need to drop my ego. I need to face the world. You see that guy in there holding that? Like, I need to face the consequences. I need to make clear my decision, and I need to take the first steps forward on that journey of 1,000 miles. And so they're trying to manifest that. Some of them are still kind of in this energy of trying to turn to work and projects to be able to do it, but they're really, even that, they're kind of losing motivation towards, and a lot of it is because they really want to talk, but you know, these karmics are inserting themselves into every situation that they can, and so they're going kind of into that hermit energy because they're just kind of feeling wounded about all of it, and they're feeling embarrassed about it, and they recognize that it was never a higher commitment. It may have looked like it, but it was about greed. They kind of ended up being a sugar daddy, but a sugar daddy who got all the salt instead of the sugar, and they were very narcissistic about it. But they're ready to break free from that, and they're probably really thinking about what it is. Like, you know, they may not have been everywhere that they wanted to be before when they were with you, but they recognize that they certainly had a lot more, and that they kind of did the grass is greener thing, and they're recognizing the grass was not greener. There's that perspective, and they're realizing that they've been in this energy of kind of like, I do it myself. Like, they're used to having to do it on their own, or they thought that that's how they had to do it. And they're recognizing that you're not going to get very far if you're constantly in that energy. Now, I'm curious, actually, I want to pull a couple of cards, but I'm not sure why. You know what, I'm just going to put these cards all back, and we're kind of low on time. I'm going to shuffle real quick, and I feel like feel like Divine Masculine might just want to say something. Divine Masculines might just want to say something here. I'm going to leave these two out of here. I'm just going to say, like, what would you like to say, Divine Masculine? Let's give us one of these cards, and then we'll pull one of the other cards. What would you like to say? Oh, interesting that that one almost popped out. Oh, alright. Okay. So what's weird is that this card wanted to pop out C, but in reverse, like... So I'm almost thinking that actually it's these two cards, C and Flower. Wow, okay. Yeah, I'm kind of... Flower, it's interesting because it's like it's a baking thing. There's something that they don't... You know what it is? I think that they want to say they're not yet ready for us to see them having to start over from scratch. Like, they're really recognizing, especially because a lot of these DMs jumped into karmic relationships and third-party situations, and in a place of displacement, which is when you break up with someone you've been with very, very long term, and you try to jump into a relationship and bring it all the way up to that level where you had the old one. Like, if you were about to get married with somebody, you might jump in with somebody else and start talking with them about marriage, even if you like haven't seen them in 20 years, or you just barely been with them for a week or a month or something like that. And they're really recognizing that no matter which way they go, whether it's with you or with anybody else, that they have to start over from scratch. Some of them are not quite ready to really admit it themselves, and others, I think, are recognizing that really they need to go back to the basics, the basic ingredients. And they're just not ready to be seen yet. I saw 12:04 on the clock, which is 7. I'm just get... Whoa. Alright, what popped out here? Okay, well, whatever, I'll take it. I didn't even really get to shuffle much, but what popped out here, what they want to say, 7 of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. Which also, you know, goes to 3 and equals the Empress energy. 12 and 7 also is 19. There's more sun energy. See, look at that. Which makes sense because this is often about a new perspective. And so is 7. So I think what it is that masculines are, they're gaining new perspectives, and they're recognizing what they had. They're recognizing that they can have victory if they're willing to surrender to spirit. Many of them are praying, reflecting on things. And we got that 7 of Wands in there too. I think they're really reflecting on the fact that they've really been in survival mode for a long time and trying to do it alone. And that they really, well, they need to heal that. I got time for one more card here, DMs. Would you like to say anything else? Got one more. Would you like to say anything else to those watching? Whoa. Well, a couple of them came out, but what I'm going to pull is this one, the Page of Swords, which is kind of that they're thinking about you. They are watching you. And it's in a more of a romantic sort of lurking sort of way. If you do videos, they may be watching your videos. If you know, they may be looking at your social media, or they may be looking at old pictures of your old notes that they sent to you, and they're kind of reminiscing about that. And in that shadow card position, the 3 of Swords in reverse, reconciliation. They want to reconcile, and what ended up on top? Ace of Pentacles in reverse. They recognize that they've been greedy. And in the heart of the matter, wish fulfillment. Hold on, fellow divine femmes. Just keep doing you. These quiet moments will pass, and it'll be worth it. Alright, everybody, thank you for your likes, shares, and subscribes. I'll see you in the next video.